If you bought anything taxable in Brown County over the last 15 years, then you've helped pay for the Lambeau Field renovations. But taxpayers may end up overpaying.
The sales tax for the stadium could bring in millions of dollars more than is needed.
And it's not just the sales tax, but it's beyond that. And so what's going to happen to that money? Fox 11 investigates. Robert Hornacek with some answers.
The 0.5% sales tax that helped fund the renovation of Lambeau Field will end at the end of September. At that time, the stadium district will have enough sales tax money and interest set aside to cover its share of the operations and maintenance of the stadium through 2031. That's when the Packers' lease ends. But the district also brings in other money from things like a ticket tax, proceeds from the sale of Packers' license plates, bricks and tiles, which all help pay to keep the stadium up and running. When the stadium district figured out how much money it would need to set aside to end the tax, it didn't take those extra revenue streams into account. And that was done on purpose because the district didn't want to come up short in case any of those revenue streams dried up. And that's why there could end up being extra money. How much money are we talking about?
Those three items generally get real close to $1 million.
Pat Webb is the director of the stadium district. He says the first $500,000 of the ticket tax goes to pay for operations and maintenance, and so does around $400,000 for license plate sales each year, and about $35,000 from brick and tile sales. By law, that money has to be used for operations and maintenance. Webb says that money would go into that operations and maintenance account and would replace sales tax money that had already been collected, leaving a balance of excess sales tax money. According to the district's calculations, between now and 2031, there could be approximately $14 million above and beyond what's needed. What does the district say will happen to that money? Under the current law, that money would sit there until 2031.
Correct.
Do we want to wait around that long, Robert?
State Senator Rob Coles is a member of the Stadium District Board. There's going to be extra money collected. The question is, what do we do with that money?
The question is, and then who gets it and how soon does it get distributed?
The Stadium District says the money could be used for economic development or be distributed to communities throughout Brown County. That would take a change in state law.
I think it would be best if it just got parsed out each year. It would be a benefit immediately to the people of Brown County.
Richard Perrins is the president of the Brown County Taxpayers Association. His group is hesitant to see state lawmakers get involved.
I don't look with any good prospects at opening up the legislation again. I think that could be a real Pandora's box.
There probably won't be a decision on any possible law change until later this year and until another issue is resolved. Will the Stadium District continue to serve as the landlord for Lambeau Field?
It was my understanding that when that tax ended, that so did the structure of this stadium board.
Green Bay Mayor Jim Schmitz says the city has hired an outside lawyer to review its options.
That if the stadium board is the best entity to be party to this lease with the city and the Packers, we'll support that. But I just don't think we can dismiss the city as a landlord.
The Stadium District says it's not clear whether the alternative funding sources like the license plates and the bricks and tiles would continue if the city became landlord. In order for the city to take over, the Stadium District would have to vote to dissolve. And to do that, there would have to be changes to the Lambeau Field lease. Those changes would have to be approved by the city, the Stadium District, and the Packers. So what do the Packers think? The organization declined to sit down for an on-camera interview for this story, but in a statement to Fox 11 Investigates, the organization says the Stadium District is working well, and the Packers, Brown County, and the village of Ashwaubenon support the current structure. And the district was not designed to dissolve upon termination of the sales tax. The statement goes on to say its work is not complete, and halting its progress now would require a complicated process. The district should continue its vital role of keeping politics out of Lambeau Field and Lambeau Field out of politics. Coles says he'd like to keep a good thing going.
I would lean to keeping the stadium district. Sales tax ends, stadium district can continue to manage those loose ends which can benefit this area economically.
I also spoke with the Packers about that additional money that could be in the Operations and Maintenance Fund, and the organization says it is aware of that and it plans to work with the Stadium District in the coming months. For Fox 11 Investigates, I'm Robert Hornacek.
The Brown County executive and Ashwaubenon Village president also tell Fox 11 that they support the current stadium board structure and signed on to the Packers statement. There is also a tax income checkoff. It's been used to help pay for the operations of Lambeau Field, but that's likely to go away this year. A new state law eliminated all tax checkoffs that failed to raise $75,000, and last year the Packers checkoff raised about $42,000.